Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show, meeting as we always do these Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Lovely to see everyone. Hope everyone's having a nice day. The weather here has improved greatly after getting very cold and wintry over the last 3 days. So as of today, we're back to summer, and that's just how New England is. So how is everyone? I see quite a few of you in the queue already. Chris Signs, the legendary Chris Signs. Always a pleasure to see Chris. See Evil Critter. I see John Manuel, lovely fellow. Stephanie M. Allie J. Judy Anderson. We got a full house. Kurt's here. Hello, Kurt. Hope everything's going well with everyone. We got a really nice, fun, information-packed episode on tap for you this evening. Thought we'd do a bunch of different things. We're going to do our best to squeeze it within an hour. Do some updates. Thought I'd do a review of Tom's Studio Pocket Pen that just arrived. Thought it'd be a lot of fun to share that with you in real time. And I also thought it might be fun to start talking about which pens I will be packing for my trip to New York. I am heading to New York this month, and it should be a lot of fun. We're going to see museums, libraries, and just about every stationery store we can find. So I thought it would be fun to do that. And then I also want to talk a little bit about wax seals. Something that I'm starting to really get into, and I've already made a discovery, and I want to share it with all of you. So stay tuned for that. One of the things I'd like to say to everyone is if you like this kind of content, you want to support non-partisan reviews of products, not sponsored by any shops or anything, so you get pretty honest, straightforward opinions, then consider subscribing to the channel. Also, I'd love to have you as a member. If you'd like to exchange letters with me, you can join the channel as either Illuminati or Cognoscenti level, and we can exchange letters. It's a great way to get to know me directly. And there's a lot of perks for all members, so that's a great way to support the channel. The members of this channel keep me going. It's really my audience is the members, so that's who this channel is geared for. If you'd like your voice to be included in that, then please jump in, become a member. It's a lot of fun. Love to see you. So, okay, I figured I'd start by mentioning something super fun that's coming up. The lovely fellows over at the Pentertainment podcast have invited me to go on. So that's Tom Odo and Penboy Roy. I'm really excited to speak to them both directly on their channel. It's the first time I'm on someone else's channel, so that's super fun. And we're going to record that a week from tomorrow, so I imagine it'll probably air 2 or 3 weeks from now, which is super exciting. I have no idea what they're going to ask me or what we will all discuss, but I'm sure it's fountain pen related and all of that. They were mentioning me on one of their recent episodes. I think it was episode 164. So if you want to hear some of their takes on me, you can listen to that too. Hopefully you're already a fan of theirs. They have some great content. So really good stuff. Really nice rapport between those two. It's always fun. It's nice to have a co-host. I sometimes wish I had a co-host. I wish my wife were available, this hour of night. That would be super fun. So look forward to that. I'll let you know when it actually happens. Also, if any eagle-eyed people out there noticed, I got new glasses. So this is the first time that my progressives are actually working for me. So I can see, I can read, and I can see distances with these, where normally I do my glasses switch. You've seen me do like Mr. Rogers each episode. So I'll be able to now see you guys, a little better, and your comments. Super fun. Oh, thanks for the likes, guys. It always helps the live. I appreciate that so much. I see some people volunteering for co-hosts. You say that, but one of these lives, I'm going to do something kind of wild. I think one of these lives, I'm going to go on, I'm going to talk, and I'm going to either put a trivia question or a fact about me or the channel, and the first person in the comments who answers it correctly, I'll have them on as a guest at the bottom of the hour. So I'm thinking about doing that sometime. So that could happen. It could be your big break to audition for the channel. So wouldn't that be fun? So what shall we do first, ladies and gentlemen? What shall we do first? Let's tell a little story. J Herbin reached out and they sent some lovely things that I unboxed and did a video with a review and an unboxing, and I incorporated some of the history of J Herbin and how they developed from their start 1670, 353 years ago, or however long it's been until now. And super fun, kind of putting the history with the products and all of that. Since I did that, I've kind of jumped down the J Herbin rabbit hole. I didn't really realize just how amazing their inks are. I guess I always knew the ones I liked. I was always a big fan. As you know, Eclat de Saphir has been pretty much my favorite ink for a long time now, and I keep it in this inkwell. I'll show this to you all, even though you've seen it a bunch of times, but I don't think you ever get tired of seeing the Egyptomania inkwell. So this always has Eclat de Saphir in it, and there it is. So love that ink. Also a big fan of Coveo de Chypre. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but it's a cool word, cool phrase, if you will. I've been writing a lot of letters in it, so a lot of the Illuminati and Cognoscenti members must be seeing Coveo de Chypre inks and a lot of Eclat de Saphir. So one of the things I really like about these inks are that they're what I call good guy inks. Inks that aren't going to let you down. They're not going to tell a lie or desert you. They're not going to dissolve your pen bladders. They're not going to stain your pens. They're just good solid performers. So I really like those inks. And I love the little bottles, the classic bottles with the lovely little drawings and their names I can't pronounce because I'm terrible trying to speak French, but I do adore them. And they're really cute. And I've been buying a lot of them lately, which is funny because I kind of wish I had asked for more when they sent me a nice care package. But one of the things that they didn't send that I ended up really diving down the rabbit hole is their wax seals. And I'll just show you some of their packaging. I wanted to do a demonstration where I did some wax seals for you, but I literally, and this is such a Hemingway Jones thing to do if you guys know me, I'm a bit of a bull in the china shop. Like, you see that? I was trying to open this and I ripped it. That's what I do. So I broke my furnace right in half that melts my wax, where you melt the, where the little handle connects to the body. I just broke it in half. So I'm not going to be able to demonstrate, but I got this nice ivory color, which I'm very excited about trying. I got burgundy, which is also really nice. And this is the one I've been using. Some of the Illuminati and Cognoscenti members have been seeing this one. I've been putting some wax seals, not on the envelopes. See, look, I'm down to a little nub. I'm down to this now. Started out like that. So pretty neat. So there you have it. So I've been using these and just enjoying the process. Now, what is kind of different about these, if you've been using these for a while, I was using the cheaper stuff that come in little bottles and things and have the little pellets. And I never realized that they're so stiff and that they weren't making the best impression. Whereas these make solid impressions. These are flexible, so they don't break. They tend to adhere better. They go through the mail much better. And they're just really pretty on the page. They're fantastic for mailing. And as I said, very flexible. But I don't put them on the outside of envelopes. Many people do. I've received quite a bit of envelopes from folks that do that. And I'm very impressed. And I'm also impressed when they show up. And I wonder if they're not using the J Herbin ones for them to survive that kind of distance. But I feel like if you put it on the page inside, or you wrap your letter with a different page and seal it, it's just guarantees that it's going to get there rather than being stuck on the actual envelope for the ride. So Kurt is chiming in saying, got your letter H-Day. Love the wax seal. Thanks so much. See, I'm trying my hand. It's kind of a new thing for me. So there we go. So I was just really impressed with that. I don't think I'll buy cheap wax again. And I think I'll probably relocate mine. Probably maybe hold on to it in case my daughter needs it for crafts at some point or something. But I don't think I'll use it anymore. So I'm really liking the J Herbin. What should we do next? Should we do the pen review? Why not? Why not? It's always fun to get a new pen, right? So how this started was Tom Studio reached out and asked if I'd like to try one of their pens. And I said, sure. I mean, I took a look at their website. They looked different. They looked interesting. I don't always say yes, but it's when my curiosity gets the best of me. And in this case, it did. And I think you'll see why. And they sent the pen. I've already unboxed it. I've been using it for a couple days. And it has a lot to talk about. So it's a really interesting, fascinating pen. So I thought we would get into it. Shall we? So this is the Tom Studio pen. It arrived looking prettier than this. But as I mentioned, I am a bull in a china shop, and I've already torn it apart, as one does. So one of the things I really like about Tom Studio is that they have a variety of nibs available, including some custom ones. And they seem to have a focus on calligraphy. The story is that this gentleman, Tom, and I'm still learning about it all, but his wife does calligraphy. And so he decided he would basically make pens for her and turned it into a business. So one of the things he wanted to do was make a pen that's very pretty and very portable. And also one that's similar to a Coveo Sport intent in its intent. So let me rephrase. It's similar to a Coveo Sport in its intent, but the execution is a lot different. So let's take a look. So you open this, you get a lot of very friendly packaging material, kind of low impact package material. I think that's the ethos of the company. And then you get this. So pretty neat, tidy package here for a pocket pen. So a touch bigger than the Coveo Sport, but still very portable, very good size and easy to slip into your pocket. Faceted, I believe it's octagonal, so it does not roll away. So it's on the table, it's not going anywhere. So you don't need a clip to hold it, it'll hold itself. So what I like about it is many pocket pens unscrew like little hobby kits. This one simply pulls. So that's very nice. It's got very nice quick draw action. Pull it, post it, if you can call that posting. And there you have it. There's your full-size pen. And it is indeed a full-size pen. I mean, that is a lot of pen. It's 163 millimeters when assembled, 99 like this. So that's quite a difference. And very nice size. So when you get it, it comes with a cartridge. The cartridge has black ink in it. And if you notice, you have these gaskets. Gaskets hold it together here, and they hold it together into the cap. So this can be eye dropped, which is very nice. You just need to put some silicone on the threads. You already have your gasket. You'd be all set to go. It's kind of a shame that I haven't eye dropped it yet, but I will. So what did they include to make it easy to eye drop? I'm glad you asked. Whoops, wrong way. So within the packaging, they include an ink syringe, which is really handy. And it's actually, I haven't used it yet, but it's quite a fun ink syringe. You simply push it in like a plunger and it's just going to fill for you. So it'd be super easy to fill this up like an eyedropper with this. It's also super easy to refill the cartridge, which is a lot of fun. So very actionable stuff here. Now, I don't know why they didn't include a converter rather than saying you can refill the cartridge, because this is a whole lot of stuff. So if you weigh it sustainability wise, you get sort of a recyclable box, and then you get more kind of matter here. Now, this is pretty great because this is nicer than some of the ink syringes I've purchased at famous pen shops, which basically take medical syringes and adjust an ink onto it. An ink, not needle, I guess syringe, right? Is that what this bit's called? So this, it seems more usable as an ink syringe. I mean, if it wasn't so short, you probably could use this as a converter, but you know, you just pop it on there. It's going to do a nice job. So I really like this. I think I'm going to use this a lot in a lot of other applications as an ink syringe. So very cool. Very nice that they include that. I do like extras. I always like it when you get a little something extra. If you purchase a watch, you get a watch band. You purchase a guitar, you get a guitar strap or something. That's always fun. So Chris Sign says that looks like a fun size pen. Yeah, you know, it's very nice in practice. So what I asked for was a cursive italic nib. So it's made from a double broad nib. I don't know where they source their nibs from. It's very pretty. I wish I could show you in close-up. Camera's not that great at showing you close-ups. If you have a big screen, you might be able to see that. But I may repost this section as a review, and I will add some B-roll, and it might work very nicely. So you see this, once it's in your hand, you have a very balanced pen. I'm not sure where the balance is. I could really get in a lot of trouble here with the nib. Oh, look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so very balanced pen. Not too many pens you can do that with. This is the rose gold. It's very groovy here. It has micro grooves that are very tactile but unobtrusive. So they're very delightful in your hand and take away any slickness you would normally get with a metal grip. And it goes basically all the way up. Yeah, if I'm feeling that correctly. Feels like it goes all the way up. So you have a variety of options for gripping this pen. You could be all the way up here, you could be down here, wherever it is that you feel is your spot for gripping. So this is it. Let's see what kind of mood it's in, shall we? Well, that's not a good sign. Probably from me jumping it around. Well, it's a slow starter, ladies and gentlemen. I do kind of hate when that happens. I normally, with my cartridge pens, immediately put converters on them because I always feel like cartridges are slow. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Well, sorry, Tom Studio. You're a slow starter. So, one of the strikes I would put against it is that it is a slow starter on writing. The nib is actually nice. It feels a little wide for a cursive italic. It's just italic. I'm sorry. It's not cursive italic. It's just an italic. It feels a bit wide, but it's fun. It's nice. It's ironic. I haven't had it skip like that. Or that's not even a skip, just non-start. Since I've been writing with it, but I have had it on occasion skip. So, but the actual shape of the nib is really fun to write with. And the balance and the feel is very nice. I personally feel that this pen is begging to be an eyedropper. And I think that would probably eliminate any of the issues. It's writing fine now, but it was a really tough start there. But you can see as an italic, it does a very nice job. So, for me so far, I like the materials. I love the size. I love the grooved grip. I'm not super crazy with the performance of the nib. I find that it's a slow starter, and that's frustrating. I find that it's a little tough to find the edge, but a lot of italic nibs are that way. But once it gets going, it looks beautiful. It is a very expressive nib. And I almost feel like it needs to be eye dropped. I need to find some silicone grease and give it a shot. I think this is a perfect way to do it. I feel very safe with this. It's a good size. You have the gasket there. Just get rid of this, fill this up, and go to town. I just don't have any handy. But, I mean, we're getting to know each other, this pen and I. I do kind of wish I had tried another nib. I like the italic, but I wish I had timed it to get one of their flex nibs. The flex nibs look really interesting, but you know, that does a really nice job of being italic. You get some very nice line variation when you get the angle just right. So you can certainly see it. You know, a lot of fat to thin there. I don't think you could get a converter in here. I'm not sure if even a little Coveo squeeze converter would work. It's pretty small. But it's fun. And the shaping is very nice. See, it's doing much better now. But like personally, I don't like it when you are thinking and then you go to use your pen and it's not ready for you. So say you're writing a poem and you're ready for the next line. It needs to be able to write. I'm just writing nonsense here. Okay, so say you're thinking of your next line. You think, right? We're doing a live test. Should be ready to go. Okay, well, there you go. So was it a fluke? I don't know. But for me, you want to be able to write instantly without worry, without any hesitation. So there you have it. So I like it, but I wish it wouldn't do false starts. So lots of fun to get a new pen by something I've not used before or haven't heard of. Just looking to see if the inside is lined with anything, you know, like a plastic like kind of gasket or anything. It's hard to tell, but a very interesting pen. I love the design. I love these two rubber stoppers and how easy it is to get in and out. It also has very interchangeable nibs. You can just order another one and just, I believe they screw in. I haven't taken this out yet, but that's part of the fun too, if you wanted to have a lot of different nibs. They have an Ultra Flex. So, lots of fun. There's a lot of words here too. A lot of different instructions on how to use the refill the ink cartridge or to eyedrop it. It says if you want to use the eyedropper, you can do the same thing by filling the body of the pen with ink. Just make sure you have used silicone grease to seal the pen beforehand. And then there's a QR code that'll teach you how to do it. Now you guys may know that I don't eyedrop. I've never eyedropped a pen. But I'm really curious to try it with this one. So I just need to get some silicone grease. And I think there's some in my TWSBI cases. But I don't know if it's the same kind of silicone grease. But it should be easy enough to get at the hardware store or whatever. So I'm curious, but will I do it? That's the question. For me, going from curiosity to action, I mean, it might make a nice video trying an eyedropper. But it's an interesting pen. I'd probably go for a flex nib. I might order one. They have a semi-flex nib. They have an ultra flex. I forget what they call it exactly. I don't think I would go that route. The semi-flex sounds more interesting. Their ultra flex is built on like a zebra kind of nib in its concept. And I don't think that would be right for me. Simon asked, did I say the cost? I did not. I did not say the cost. I never say the cost. I forget the cost, but I'm going to look it up because I think it's kind of important. But I don't always pay attention to the cost of things, and I probably should. So, let's see. Bring my iPad, guys. They have a lot of calligraphy pens too if you're into calligraphy, which is super fun. Oh, okay, so it's $108. And it comes in ivy black, the soft rose gold, which this one is, a lilac, and a sage. You can get it in fine, medium, extra fine semi-flex, a titanium flex, cursive italic, I was right about cursive italic, and architect. And there was a ProFlex available, but that looks to be all sold out. So pretty neat. Very easy to switch up. So a lot of fun. We'll see where that path takes us with Tom's Studio. Okay. What do you guys think? Let me check the comments. Yeah, that's a good comment. So Can CK says I dropped a Franklin Kretov. I'm not sure which pen that is. It's too much ink. I like to change my ink. Yeah, I'm a big fan of changing ink too, but I believe that that's pretty small, probably in comparison. Stephanie M says the TWSBI is more oil than silicone grease. Get the thicker stuff. Okay, I will. If I ever do it, I'll probably watch a YouTube video on how to do it, just to make sure I don't miss anything. Thank you. Oh, Kate's saying I can use the TWSBI grease. Okay. Good to know. Hello, Kate. Kate, there's a letter on its way to you. So keep an eye on your mailbox. Scott Lasky. Yes, you did send me the Preppy with the grease, didn't you? I took the pen and I do have that grease. Thank you. Scott Lasky reminding me that I'm getting old and forgetful. Thank you very much, my friend. Always a pleasure. So, there we have it. Let's talk about some other stuff, shall we? Shaq MD's here. Hello, Shaq. So, one of the other things that I'm doing is thinking about which pens I should pack for New York. So, it's going to be a fun trip, and I know I'm going to be writing a lot. I'll probably be doing a little bit of journaling on the train, and I'll probably be taking a lot of notes around town. And then, of course, I'll be doing a lot of B-roll for the channel. So I'm probably bring at least 5 different pens, but which ones? Which ones? I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that one of them is going to be my Montblanc calligraphy nib. And there's a very important reason why I would bring this one. And that's because I will probably bring my book that I'm working on, which is sort of my examples of different handwriting, as near as I can mirror them. And I find that I'm better with the Montblanc pen than other ones. I used my Waterman 5 in here as well. So this book is by Escherbook. And I really like this book, and I was trying to find a reason to use it, and I decided to do some examples of penmanship. I showed a little of this last week. I figured I'd show you my progress. So I think you saw this last week. I worked on the Declaration of Independence and took out some neat parts, especially where they connected. For me, the fun part is the connecting. This is something I'm not good at in my own handwriting. But in this round hand style, the connecting is very, very cool. So, quite like that. Here's some more. This one, it was John Paul Jones, but I kind of wrote it poorly. So I apologize for that. But some very cool handwriting from this fellow. I love this G. I love this O. This G, super cool. I really love how it trails off like a flag. Very neat. This was another person's handwriting, which I quite liked. Very stylized. And then I decided to go to the source of a lot of inspiration for me. Ernest Miller Hemingway. So I looked at some of his letters, and I really liked his M's. Of course, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is Ernest Hemingway's signature. Not a bad representation of it done by me. I based my channel's signature on Hemingway's. So, if you didn't know that, now you do. So, one of the things I really like about Hemingway's handwriting is it's very loopy. And I quite like it. And I really love these almost protective tails on these Y's. They almost go back to make sure that the rest of the letter is okay. I quite like that. This is a little off from the original, but I tried. So, really neat F's he did, almost like C's that have fallen into the bottom line and turned. There we see that protective G again. A very nice, simple S. Kind of a no-nonsense, but very clear handwriting. So I quite like it. I did my best to emulate it. And then I did a little practice on the back here. Linking things. So that's what I've been working on and off. So, back to my point, I will be bringing this pen because it's good in that book and I want to keep that book going. It's also really good for notes, and since it's an extra fine in its nib, it's a good writer for museums. I don't always post this pen, by the way. It's very much like writing with filament. It's wispy. I like that. It's different for me. You guys know I'm usually bolder in my lines. But this is a very thin line. Of course, you can flex it if you want. So very, very fun. You get a lot of different variation with this. So this one's coming. I can see me journaling with this quite a bit. I'll fill it up before I leave. I'll probably bring some J Herbin Sealing Wax here with me, which is what's in here. That's what this is. Very nice solid color. So which else? Which other pens should I bring? I'm tempted to bring a cross because years ago, back in around 2006 and 2007, I always traveled with my cross apogee. And it would just be sort of fun to revisit that pen. Shaq MD likes the F's and the ES. Thanks. Coming from you, that's high praise. Shaq MD has some of the nicest handwriting I've ever seen. So maybe I'll take the cross apogee as well. And I'll probably take my Lilliput because it's so portable and so easy to carry with me everywhere. So I think those pens plus my Coveo brass and maybe my bronze if it ever arrives. So I'm still waiting for the Coveo bronze. Yeah, that's a story. We should probably tell that one sometime. That might be a whole hour, but that was my birthday pen. My birthday now was a month ago, but it's been an adventure. My wife is tracking it down for me. So super fun. It's going to be lovely. I'll probably put a 1.1 stubby on that because that's my favorite Coveo nib. I think it just writes brilliantly. So super fun. So in New York, I think the Cross, the Montblanc, and maybe the Egyptomania, because I'm going to the Temple of Isis. If I could get a nice shot of the Egyptomania in the Met at the Temple of Isis, that would be pretty fun and pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Coveo brass. That's a good one, LJ. Ooh, Great Lakes says the Peniter Twin Tank would be a good choice. Twin Tank is a good choice. That is a really good travel pen because you have two different reservoirs. You can seal it off. If you were flying, it would be perfect. I'm not flying. It's also made of nearly indestructible material, although I don't think I want to tempt it. But it is a brilliant travel pen, as is any Twisby. I think any Twisby is good. And there's something to be said for taking pens that are sort of disposable. So if something should happen, you're not heartbroken. You can replace it. Something like a Lamy Safari would be really nice for travel because it's pretty easy to replace one unless it's a special edition or something. So that's possible to take as well. A lot of love for the Coveo brass. Shaq MD says Egyptomania holds 11 drops of ink. Did you really squeeze it out by ink droplets, and count them? That's very impressive. I would probably lose interest after like 2 or 3. I just kind of get a sense of how much ink a pen holds. I mean, I really respect going to that extreme. But it is a fantastic, interesting pen. It hasn't made an appearance on this channel for some time. Briefly, when we went through the collection to talk about what we would get rid of. But let's have a look at it. So it's super fun. It's one of the most interesting pens that Montblanc's put out in a long time. And one of the things I really like about it is how it riffs on their symbol. It doesn't burden itself with the normal white cap glacier. It does sort of a riff on that. Then you have this super cool scarab on the clip. So, very cool pen. Fantastic writing experience. Oh, do I have ink in here? It might be empty. Yeah, I think that's right. I think I put it away. I think I dipped it the last time I used it. Let's fill it up, shall we? It's thirsty. So I'll get 11 drops if I go to 11. Okay, so there we have it. Super easy to fill these. One of the things I really like about them. Shop towel. Okay, let's try that again. So smooth and soft. That's so fun. It's a fun pen, guys. This one has to come. It needs its exercise. It needs a little air. This is so photogenic too. It's so great doing shots of this when it comes up in lists or different things for the channel. It's just such an interesting pen. Some pens just really resonate with you, don't they? Some you can just sort of take or leave, and some become almost the focal point of your life. So yes, Isis would be cool. Ooh, Dave Pruitt says take the Junior. I have that here too. The Escherbook Jr, which I like to call the Escherbook Jr. I use this pen quite a bit. You can see it looks like coffee. It's very frothy. And it has this really great pumpkin color ring around the top. Very nice. I usually post this, but that's nice. It's a nice feeling, guys. It's really smooth. Very nice. It's got a nice scribing noise too. I love a pen that communicates with you as it goes. It's a good noise. It's good. I like it. These are some of my favorites. Always reliable, always smooth, fun to write with. Wow, look, it's almost empty. Sometimes when they're empty, I screw the piston down to get the last bits out. So I'm going to use a different color. I'm not going to put Eclat de Saphir in it. I'm going to maybe do the deep blue, the deep dark blue. I'm going to do something different. So super fun. Ooh, Producer Boy took ecos all over India. That's brilliant. That sounds like a fun trip. Ooh, Pilot. Pilot, the one Pilot I'm thinking of taking is the Vanishing Point. My Vanishing Point I recently inked up again. I was filming with it for the channel. And, pretty much my whole pen collection is inked up at any given time because I'm always filming. And I took Black Noir here and inked it up. And I kind of forgot just how brilliant this pen is. It's so luscious. And this is the perfect museum pen. If you want to take some quick notes, is there anything better? It's so handy, so smooth. The only downside, holds little ink. Not very reliable for longevity with this one, sadly. But it's such a great pen to just clip on yourself anywhere you want. In my polos, I'm frequently clipping pens here. And then if you need it, you just pull it off ready to go. So, good solid pen, my friends. Oh, M. Sean bought the Escherbook Jr. because of the Hygge video. Have you guys all seen the Hygge video? That was so much fun to make. It was hard to make too because I was really sick when I made it. And you can see it if you look at me. I do look kind of sick. And my daughter actually filmed all the B-roll, which was super fun. So that was a great video. I'm really proud of that one. And by the way, the next video coming out on Friday at noon is called the Coveo Sport Kingdom. And it's called that because it's my Wes Anderson inspired pen review video. So had a little fun, kind of did it in the style of Wes Anderson with some quirky little details and things, and did a nice review of the Coveo Sport, and I filmed it at a tulip farm. So actually that B-roll might have been good for the Hygge video with tulips, kind of in that area of, are there tulips there in Norway? I don't know. All the Nordic countries. I think so. Isn't that where they're from? So it's Coveo Sport Kingdom on Friday. So that should be super fun. I think you guys will really like it. That was so fun to film. The tulips were gorgeous. We had tulips all over the house for a few weeks. So colorful. So much love with my family being there and everything else. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Terry, how are you, Terry? Edgington. I just ordered the Escherbook first wheel press. Can't wait to get it. It looks awesome. They are very creative in what they do. First wheel press, you can't beat them for their marketing, their creativity. Really great stuff. So I really love them. Evil Critter says Holland. That's right. Tulips are from Holland. Are they only from Holland? That seems like kind of a small place just to have a flower. So they're not in a whole region. They're just there. But then again, there they were in Massachusetts. So I guess you can grow them anywhere. But they are very lovely. I love flowers. So, that video is exciting. Friday at noon, Coveo Sport Kingdom. Next week, we'll be filming with Penboy Roy and Tom Odo for their channel. I'll let you guys know when that comes out. Also, you may have seen that Oisin O'Malley put up excerpts from the interview that we did, and he put the clips we were referring to. So if you were watching the video of me interviewing him, you're like, what are they talking about? I didn't see that video. He put the clips in while we're speaking. So it gives it a lot of context. So you might want to check that out on his channel. That was super fun. So, a lot of love for tulips in the comments. So I got all my wax seals. I can't wait. I got a new furnace coming since I broke mine in half. So Cognoscenti and Illuminati members will get some fun seals. I can't wait to try out the ivory. This looks really fun. Really interesting color. So I've kind of fallen down the J Herbin rabbit hole. I just really admire any brand that's been around for that long and has just so much relevance in history. I mean, Napoleon used it, Victor Hugo, so many others. Pretty exciting stuff. LEJ, his video about living in Venice was really good. Yes, yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in Venice. He lives in Venice, so it's super easy for him to do that. Interesting fellow. Hello, Miss Marilyn Darling. Welcome to the party. Happy to have you here. Always nice to see the same faces on Tuesday night. You guys are the best. You guys are what keeps me going. The members are my audience. A couple people ask me, who do I make my videos for? I make them for the members. When I think about who my audience is, what would they like, what are they into, I gear it toward the members. So you guys, your voice is very important to me. I'm listening to each and every one of you. And we're doing a lot of creative stuff. I'm kind of pushing the boundaries lately. I don't want to be boring. I don't want to be crazy, but I don't want to be boring either. So doing the pen review like Wes Anderson style is kind of fun. There's some other things coming up too, which I think you guys will enjoy. I'll give you some idea of those, which is fun. So, here's a list of some of the things that are coming up. The J Herbin video, that's fun. I really was inspired. I was inspired by my own video. I fell deeply down that rabbit hole. I think you guys will dig that. So, ooh, M. Sean Pens. I finished dinner early so I could watch live. Happy to have you here. Always glad when you guys can catch it. I have a video coming up called The Flex Pen Quest Ends. A Farewell to Flex. So that should be interesting. I'm not going to give too many details there because that's one of my high concept videos. I think you guys will like it. And then I have my mac and cheese fountain pens. I think you guys will enjoy that. We talked a bit about what a mac and cheese pen is. I think you guys will enjoy it. Oh, Terry says, one thing you are not is boring. I appreciate that. That would be the worst thing. I wouldn't like to be boring if I can help it. So lots of good stuff happening. I got a lot more to put up and a lot more to create. And it should be an interesting summer. Summer's usually a little quiet on YouTube for me. But then it gets crazy in September. And I often wonder if it has something to do with back to school. People start thinking about pens again. I don't know. I'm always thinking about pens. So who knows? It could be different. Mark Uba. Perhaps make your way down to the Fountain Pen Hospital. It's on the itinerary. I have a lot of things on the itinerary for New York. The Fountain Pen Hospital is very high. Yosika Stationaries in New York. Also J Press, where I buy some of my clothes. That should be fun. And many other places. Try to stay out of the watch shops. So that should be fun. Simply Ob says, when you are inspired, then we totally win. I think so. I think I'm really enjoying this J Herbin rabbit hole. Very high quality products. And I don't want to sound like a shill for them, because you'll see when I do the unboxing, they sent me some stuff, but it's not like they sent me anything that would really change my opinion about them. But it did introduce me to a lot more of their stuff. And then I bought these. So, they didn't send me these. I didn't know to ask for them. So now I know how great these are. And I can't wait to dig in. I would have done it live tonight, but I broke my furnace in half. It was hot, and the metal cup was on the handle, and I went to wipe it, and I just snapped it in half. And it's made out of plastic. I tried to Gorilla Glue it, and it didn't hold. So it was not that fun. So, Allie J, I'm so jealous that you're going to Yosika. I so want to go. I can't wait too. And I guess my wife, who loves Japanese culture so much, found another Japanese stationery shop too for us to go to, which is really cool. So we have two stationery shops, Yosika and this other one, I think is a bookstore too. It's all like Japanese and Japanese stationery. So I'm assuming it's sort of like a mini Jet Pens, but I don't know what it's called. But I'm excited to find out and to report back. Should be very cool. Terry says, I love everything J Herbin. Such great inks. They really are. And I keep buying them. I need to stop. Buying them. But the thing about J Herbin is it's not very expensive stuff. So you can have a lot of fun with a very little bit of money. Miss Marilyn Darling has the stick glue version of sealing wax. That sounds fun. I'd never liked the wicks. I think I like the cup and the melting better. I was never a big fan of the wicks. Stick glue, I'm sure, will do whatever you want it to do. That's kind of fun. Claire just went to Yosika. That's very cool. Miss Marilyn Darling. Yosek, just like a second. You can't, my pronunciation. Trying to police my pronunciation is a full-time job. I pronounce pretty much every word 3 different ways. I'm like the Christopher Walken of fountain pen reviews, so you can do it, but you will get tired because even sometimes I don't know why I say things the way I do. I see a lot of other, always like the side conversations that happen back here. So Allie J is asking if it's that. It might be that. I don't know. But my wife does. And she's setting the itinerary. So I'll let you know. I'm sure I'll be filming maybe at these places if they'll let me, which would be super fun. So pretty exciting stuff, guys. Lots of fun stuff coming up on the channel. We have, even for those weeks I'm away, we have videos going up. I haven't decided if I'm going to go live while I'm in New York. I was thinking that maybe I'll go out to like outdoor seating and grab a drink and talk to you guys. Because if I'm wearing headphones, you just need to hear me speak. It doesn't really matter, right? It might be a little noisy though. I don't know. Maybe I could find a quiet spot in the hotel. There's probably a media center or something, and maybe no one's in it that hour of night. But I haven't decided. Maybe I'll do that. Terry says, as long as we know what you're talking about, it's all good. Well, I try to keep it fairly coherent. It's funny, I get a lot of people in the comments commenting about my pronunciation on various things. And I'm like, people are from different places. We all speak differently. Just deal with it. So, M. Sean asks, do you use a gimbal when you film? I am selling my gimbal. I have a very nice gimbal that can hold a iPhone Pro Max. I film everything on my iPhone. This is my iPhone. You know how you can tell a dad's phone? Because they always have stickers from their kids. My daughter. This fell off, so I Gorilla Glued it back on. But anyway, so I film everything on here. I have a gimbal for it, and my wife is better than the gimbal. The gimbal is shaky, but my wife is steady. So I'm selling it because I don't need it. I have the human gimbal. So there's a Lamy store in New York? I didn't know that. Claire Coco saying there's a Lamy store. I may have to check that out. I did not know that. Super fun. I probably would buy something. My good friend Ichiro says, as long as you are understood, your pronunciation is perfect. Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Thank you. So, yeah, lots of interesting stuff to catch on in New York. And I'm sure I'm going to be filming a ton of B-roll. You guys are going to see B-roll clips of New York forever, I'm sure. So, it should be really good. This films really well. Ichiro was saying that this has a good camera in it. It really does. I mean, everything that's on my channel, guys, everything. All the macro shots, all the wide-angle shots, all the moving shots, everything is done on this. Because I wouldn't do it otherwise. You need to be stealthy. When you go into a museum, if I had a big gimbal and a light and my wife was following me around, they'd kick me out. But if she's just here like this and I'm walking, you can do things. You can get away with a lot more in public places when you're filming. And the quality of this is as good as some of my digital cameras that shoot film. So I shoot in 4K and ProRes, very big files. This is actually a terabyte because I need all that storage. So it's a pretty good tool. And here's something else I use. Since I've used it tonight, I can show you. I use this thing for all my overheads. It has a light. You can change the temperature. This comes out. You can also hang the camera off of this. So this way, or you can use this bit for filming overhead or even sideways. So this is very handy. I push it to its limits. All my gear I push to its limits. But the one thing that's really nice about this thing, I'll show you. It all goes back together. I'll be bringing this to New York probably because if I do a live, I could use it. So you just go like this. And it's really good. It almost looks like an Apple product, doesn't it? So very handy. I use this a lot when I film. It's better than a tripod, but I have a bunch of tripods too. I have a very large ring light. So it keeps it crisp. I'm trying to make sure that the images, the nibs and things, sometimes I miss the hairs on the nibs. That's the worst because my own eyesight, until I got these new glasses, first time my progressives are hitting it, I would miss hairs and things on nibs. I just wouldn't see them. And then, of course, I'm editing and it goes on my 65-inch television and I got a nib that's about this big, bigger. and there's big hair on it. Now I can see them. So hopefully the quality will get better. Just started using my phone for filming. I wasn't happy with my DSLR. Exactly. The phones are great. And I use Final Cut Pro to edit. It's such a great combination. You can't get any better. Pilot fan in the house. Good stuff. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the end of a long journey. It was a good night. We talked about a lot of things. We took a look at this Tom Studios pen. Very interesting pocket pen. I'm sure it'll show up again on the channel. I like it. It's not perfect, but I like it. It's very balanced. It's made of interesting materials. It's sort of inspiring me to eyedrop it. I wouldn't say sort of inspiring me. I'd say it's urging me. I might grab Scott Lasky's grease and give it a go. Scott Lasky sent me some silicone grease. So, good stuff. Thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back next week. And until then, I want you guys to all take care of yourself. And we'll see each other again further up the road. So take care.